Hello and welcome to a whole new episode of your program Culture Magazine. Allow me to be your guide through a journey of diverse segments from cultural heritage, traditional and artistic works. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's start our episode. The Cairo Opera House is the cultural lighthouse of the Middle East. It presents serious arts and an address of Egypt's artistic and cultural identity, exporting a lofty image of our dear Egypt and exposing this nation to a diverse range of cultural exchange.
As part of the Ministry of Culture's activities, the Cairo Opera House, headed by Dr. Ala Abdeslam, presents the masterpiece by French composer Georges Bizet, Carmen, for the Cairo Opera Company under the artistic direction of Dr. Mona Rafla, accompanied by the Cairo Opera Orchestra conducted by Maestro Nader Abbasi and the Cairo Opera Ballet Company. The concert is under the supervision of its artistic director and choreographer, Armenia Kamil, and the Cairo Opera Choir, trained by Pascal Rosé and directed by Hazem Tayeb.
Now, of course, I did other choreography for other production of Carmen, but this production has been done already almost 2 years ago, and we are repeating now today with different cast, of course. And my experience with Carmen is a very long experience because I was dancing with my husband Abdelmonem Kamel in the ballet Carmen and the music Bizet, and it was one of my first favorite role. And nowadays, of course, I am just doing the choreography in the version of Opera Carmen, which is fantastic. The music is fantastic. We have Nader Abbasi conducting, and I enjoy every note of this beautiful opera. It's so important. For example, in my field also I am reproducing classical ballet, and I am convinced that the base of everything is classic. So myself, I like the classical ballet, but the classical opera have to be spread out since the early age of people, because this is the base of the life. What is life without music? Cannot be. Music has to be taught from the very early age, because children and teenagers, they should know that exists the world of classics, that is music, that is ballet, that is painting, that is sculpture, that is literature. The classics are the base of the culture everywhere. So I really would like that all the schools will keep music, maybe ballet, maybe just singing as a matter to be taught at the school. Of course, in Egypt, we should promote even the classic Arabic music, which is beautiful. All the composer of the classical Arabic music are great artists. So it's the same. It's the same. It's the ballet as the classical music, like the classical Arabic music, are all matters that have to be spread since the early age.
The main roles are performed by mezzo-soprano Jalal Hadidi, alternating with Amina Khairat in the role of Carmen. The original story of the opera Carmen takes place in Seville in 1830. It tells the story of the haughty gypsy girl Carmen, who seeks to woo men. She woos Sergeant Jose Navarro, who falls in love with her, and she transforms him from a simple, obedient policeman as an outlaw after she recruits him into a group of smugglers with whom she works. His overwhelming love leads him to the gallows. It is worth noting that Carmen is one of the most famous and important operas in the world, as it is a turning point in the history of French opera. It is also Bizet's last complete opera work and is distinguished by its harmonious rhythm and lively melody.
I'm Carmen. I'm the main role tonight. This is my 102nd time worldwide to sing that role, and it's my first time in Egypt. And I came especially from Germany to sing that role. The opera is Carmen. It's actually the most famous femme fatale in opera history and also in literature, and a very demanding, commanding woman who falls in love shortly with a soldier, manages to destroy his life, and then at the end changes her love for Escamillo, who's a torero. And that's it. And he decides at the end to take her life, probably along with his at the end. Carmen is one of the most famous operas worldwide, and it's also one of the most accessible operas for audiences. People love the music. Georges Bizet composed a very, very sort of talkative but very approachable music that audiences love worldwide. So it hits quite a good note with Egyptian audiences. Also, they love hot-blooded women and hot-blooded heroines. So that's one of the reasons why, of course, the Cairo Opera House came up with the idea. At the same time, I used to be a member of the Cairo Opera Company years ago, and they know now of my success with Carmen internationally. That's why they got me and decided to do this opera now for Egyptian audiences.
It was first performed at the Opéra Comique in Paris in March 1875. It was not well received at the beginning of its performance, but it achieved widespread fame after the praise of great and contemporary composers, including Debussy, Tchaikovsky, and Brahms. They watched it more than 20 times and considered it the best opera produced since the Franco-Russian War. Bizet was not destined to see the great success of Carmen, as he died of heart failure at the age of 36 in June 1875.
I will always come, it's my home, but I live abroad and I work abroad, and in my fach, which is my direction musically, I have more roles abroad because they do a lot of Wagner, and I sing now Wagner operas. I sing in Dresden, I sing in Zurich, in Paris, in, oh my God, in Istanbul, in Ankara, in Liège, everywhere.
Egypt is always keen to build bridges of creative cooperations with various countries of the world, and our next segment is a true interpretation for a solid cultural exchange.
And then the program will start back in September. We will have a lot of stuff, probably the best harp player in the world, Claudia Lucia Manna, in September, and then one of probably the biggest event, Michelangelo Pistoletto, the sculpture will come in Forever Is Now at the Giza Pyramids, and a lot of stuff. I don't want to give it too much anticipation of what will happen until the end of the season. Cultural has always been with trade, the trademark, sorry for repetition, of the connection that we created inside the Mediterranean area. It had always been the way to keep unity, peace, and to communicate between people when probably sometimes language and differences in cultural and religion can keep you apart. And cultural and has this power to unite people, to get people closer, and to let people understand each other, and so for us it's a passion, I would say, because for many of us before doing this job has been a hobby, probably, or we tend many of us to start an artistic career, and so it became out of a passion and a hobby, even a mission, I would say, to create bridges and to extend our culture to meet the culture of the countries in which we are working. And especially here for me, Egypt is special. I've always been fond of this country, in general North Africa, but especially Egypt. I have a long story with Egypt, and I was willing to come since 25 years, and at the end I managed to come back, and I found especially many connections, and it's quite easy to propose to bring quality here, because people is reactive, is curious, is willing to experiment along with me, and so I hope to have more public, to reach always more public, and to, I would say, to poke their curiosity, and to hope they will react positively.
Signori, carabinieri, suavi filumeni. Prima di illusori, alle più, lontani anime. It's my first time here, and I arrived just 3 days ago, so I had the opportunity to travel in the country looking for archaeological amazing pyramid, and also spend time in the chaos of Cairo. So I had some great inspiration. So I think tonight I'm gonna change a bit the program. I will play, of course, my last album, Lemma, but I will play also some music that I feel is very connected with your music. You know, I'm very big fan about Kulthum, for example, and there is some music in Sardinia. I come from Sardinia, you know, it's an island in the center of Mediterranean. We are Italian, but at the same time really, we are in touch with a lot of cultures. When I see here the people and kind of way to think about the life. I feel similar to Sardinian too, and so I will do a navigation between all my discography, looking for a key to communicate with the audience. So it will be a special show. And when I started to modify, people look at me like, "What are you doing?" Because also I grew up. Studying traditional music of Sardinia with the older teacher that will be still in life, and but then I've been in touch with avant-garde music, and my feelings like I like so much the sonority and the different sounds of an orchestra. Some ideas like I could play solo. It could be a flamenco guitar, and after a couple seconds could arrive an orchestra or a cello or a percussion ensemble, and then on top of this there is the vocal. And basically when I sing, I try to take the traditional melodies from Sardinia but with different arrangement, like contemporary sounds. So the very important detail is that my instrument, I feel like, is work in progress. The guitar that I play tonight is the first model, but I just finished 3 months ago, and I'm sure in 1 year will be different instruments, because I'm very fascinated about other musicians, other cultures, and each travel that I do around the world give me inspiration to modify my guitar. You know, Sardinia, all the people know the coast, the rocks, the sea, the beauty of the sea, but also the center of the island is fantastic, especially for music. The center, in the center survive a strong tradition of canto tenore. In the south, launedas, this is the oldest instrument that we have, is 3,500 years ago. And so I grew up in a village in front of the sea. I grew up 100 meters from a lighthouse. So for me, I'm in touch with the sea always. I can't live without the sea. I can't think to live far from the sea more than 1 week. I mean, it's my imprinting. But at the same time, I feel that, for example, when I be driving outside of El Cairo and in countryside, and you see this kind of very simple life of people that work hardly to produce some fantastic food and transmitting this sense of life, very simple. And when you have this imagine of child on top of a horse, no, and then you have still the same in the center of Sardinia, and so you feel like, wow, there are so many things that are the same. I mean, again, I think the sea, we are in Mediterranean. I mean, is water, that unification of the people that is in front of the sea.
great. I've been to the Opera House, but I haven't been in this like open air theater, only like inside the opera itself. But that was great, and I love this area. I love Zamalek, and so I'm enjoying the evening so far, and I believe it will be even better. Frankly, I love like rock and roll, jazz. I like generally I like the mix of styles. So I suppose this fusion, which we're gonna hear today, will be amazing.
I think it will be amazing because I like all kind of music, and especially, you know, I like guitar. Playing guitar, even tried to play guitar before. I think it will be amazing today. I like it in Egypt that you know, there are a lot of cultures, and especially that city Cairo never sleeps, so you can go out at 1-2 a.m. and you still find something to do. I think it's great opportunity, especially here. I like Zamalek and Maadi. There are a lot of events and galleries, and actually I like to come here to Opera House to ballet or maybe opera. Yeah, so I think it's great opportunity to just to be here, to meet other expats, other Egyptians who love the music.
Unfortunately, we came through the end of this episode. Promise we'll be back next week with more diverse segments. Until then, it's goodbye.